Hi guys, so report reaching me is that some people want to take a loan to come to the UK on a student visa. Student visa, you want to take a loan? Hey, wahala. So in the video I made yesterday talking about some schools to avoid because of some reasons, somebody dropped a comment asking about what about someone that wants to come to the UK via a loan, and loan as in loan. So some weeks ago or some months ago, there's a group I belong to. It's about people who want to migrate to the UK or something. Basically, when you want to jackpot, you'll be joining all these WhatsApp groups and all for updates and all. And then somebody typed on that group that, I think he got an admission to the US. It's self-sponsored, and that he wants to take a loan of $50,000. That anybody in the group advise him or something. Wait, first of all, they're not asking like you're joking, Abby, like you're not considering this, but you're just asking for, you just want to ask, kind of thing. And this boy is saying this serious. So do you guys just share your thoughts? Hey, all right, more court. You get luck. In fact, if you're coming to the UK, you're planning to come here on the loan, you're planning to get a loan, you get locked in a short or more cord. I get. Normally, I suppose use long cord, like the one where if then wipe you go 2L, like like Koboko, as Koboko no day again, or more cord, give you on your neck here, like 6 times, your brain will reset. What do you mean? You want to wait? It's so funny because when this guy kept giving them, they said you can pay within 5 years. This one, that one. I say, Oga, are you joking? People kept asking him again. Are you sure you're not just? It's just a meme. You just want a conversation. You are not considering it, Abby. So if you're planning to come to the UK and part of your plans is getting a loan, just watch this video because you cannot be thinking what I'm thinking. So let me give you reasons why you should not take a loan coming to the UK, especially on the student visa, no matter how attractive or whatever it is. Let me give you the reason. Number one, everybody knows you're working 20 hours. And shortly before I started making these videos, I punched my calculator again because at this point it feels like maybe I don't say I'm not sabi maths, but not to this extent. I punched my calculator again. The average minimum wage is £12.21. So I multiplied it by 20 hours. So on a good day, you work 20 hours weekly. In a week, you make £244. The month generally 900 and something. At most, let's say on some months that have 5 weeks, you are swelling between £1,200 and £1,500 every single month. So let's assume you took I don't even want to imagine the figure because it would be millions of naira. This is excluding the interest rate, okay? So how much would you pay monthly? How often, considering the fact that when you come to the UK, you may not even start working immediately and you work 20 hours. Now, let us even assume that, okay, they tell you, because some people will say, okay, you can start paying after you graduated. When you graduate, you are not getting a job as a manager. Unless, in fact, it's only by God's grace. Definitely, you start somewhere. You are getting an entry-level job, graduate-level job. From there, you keep climbing. You are getting an entry-level job. And entry-level jobs do not, even managers self, they collect would not to talk of. How much would you earn as an entry-level staff? How much for you to be able to pay? So let us even assume you earn like 3.5. 3.5 is even me being an overstretch. Mind you, once you have crossed that threshold of 12,500 and something pounds, you are paying 20% tax. So let us even assume that you earn 3,500. Best case scenario, which is I'm even trying to I don't know the average, but the average entry level position is around 2,800 and something. And you are paying 20% in tax. So you are left with 80% of whatever it is you earn. Inside that 80%, how much can you spare every month to pay millions of naira? Millions. Like I said, I've not even talked about interest rates. So how far can you go with that? Have you asked yourself that? So even if they say pay 3 years after you finish school, pay 4 years after it means that for 4 whole years of your life, you are working for someone. You are working for someone to pay a loan, and after paying that loan, what next? You are now starting what from beginning, from scratch. Okay, so that is one reason you should not even think about it, not to talk of considering it. Okay, the second reason is that you have compulsory bills to pay. You know when they say there are bills and they are compulsory. For instance, you can choose not to subscribe for your Netflix. You can choose not to do Spotify. You can choose not to do YouTube Premium, which is fine, good and cool. But you see, there are some bills that are compulsory. For instance, your house rent. Till today, I've been in this country for 10 months. Is it 10 months? yes, I'll say 10 months or 11, close to 11, just say 10 months. I've still not gotten over the fact that every single month you have to pay your rent. In Nigeria, you pay your rent yearly. At least if I pay my rent in January, I will not think about rent again until another year. But here, you have to pay your rent monthly. You have to pay, depending on where you live, you have to pay council tax monthly. You have to pay water bills monthly. So if you're a student and you live in an all bills inclusive house, good. But there are bills that are compulsory. For instance, your transport, you will not say you will trek. If your office is far 2 hours by bus, you will not say you will trek 4 hours or 5 hours to go to work every day. There are bills you still have to pay. So even while you are repaying your loan, you will not say, oh, I'm not going to pay my rent this month because I have a loan to repay. It's not possible. You are repaying that loan and you are paying your compulsory bill. Let us not even talk about the fact that some months, some things, some expenses, unexpected expenses will just come up. For instance, your phone fee spoil, your laptop fee crash. One of those things require money to do. So how are you paying those loans and doing? By the time you pay your loan, take out the loan money and pay your bills, you are left with nothing. So basically, you are living for the is it lender or the borrower, whatever, the person who loaned you that money. You are existing for them, so you don't have a life of your own. That's number 2 reason. In case you're still doubting, it's not that bad. Here is the third reason. High interest rates. You don't need to be shocked for me to tell you that whoever is going to loan you money to travel abroad is going to charge you an exorbitant rate. Guess what? There's a 90 or 99% chance that it's not a bank that is giving you that money. Because you tell a bank, I want to use them. You can't tell a bank that you want to use the money to travel on a student visa and they will give you loan. It's not, you know, they never, even if you put sugar from out, it's not possible. The person who is loaning you is either an individual, maybe a company or a loan shark or whatever. It's not a bank. Okay, so expect high interest. The interest rate will be so high that you start wondering. There's no logical reason anyone would want to take that high interest rate, but of course you are desperate, and these guys know you are desperate. See, if there's anything called decision you have to make, don't ever make it when you are desperate, because when you are desperate, somebody tells you 10% interest rate, you are on it. Okay, 10%. When I reach, I'll work. I'll give him no problem. These guys know that you are desperate, and so their interest rate is definitely going to be high. So sometimes it's not even about the money you collected. Maybe you collected like 30 million, 40 million. It may feel like a small money, but then the interest on that money, they know you are desperate, so no worry. Ingo collect them, and then you now have to now bring something like a collateral. So if you don't pay, they will now take this. They will now, bro. Again, even 5 years after graduation, it's still not worth it. Okay, so that's number 3. What's the next reason? Number 4. Let's go to the 4th reason. The 4th reason is deadlines. See, like I said, it's not a bank. Even a bank, even if it's a bank giving you money, once you've gotten to that deadline, they start to take action. Like, they are taking action immediately. Then if it's not a loan shark or a private individual, they'll say, because before then you now have to sign. Deadlines are important. See, when you come abroad already, like I've said in several other videos, it may even take 2 to 3 years before you are a little, not totally balanced though, not total, before you are a little, that's if you've had COS or another route that makes you kind of comfortable. It will take 2 to 3 years before you are a little bit comfortable. Then inside all of that, you now have what? Deadlines. See, these guys know the pity. If they tell you that, oh, I will take your house in Nigeria if you don't pay. Once that, in fact, they're even praying low-key, especially if you have a house in a very good spot. Once that your deadline on they reach, or more, they are taking action. So, like I always say, if somebody loans you money and say, oh, you can pay at any time, also doesn't mean you should relax. So, but that would have been a fair deal. But the fact that they'll say you have 2 years to pay, you have 1 year to pay, you have 6 months to pay, that should be a wake-up call for you to know that, brother, this decision is a life. I would have said life or death. Okay, it's life or death. It's not life and death. It's a life or death situation. And in fact, let me not even lie, it's a death or death situation because the level of uncertainty in this country is not something that somebody should be confident to take a loan. In fact, you should be more confident to take a loan in Nigeria than when you move abroad. Because I mean, in Nigeria, things may be hard, but there is this, I don't know, maybe it's just me thinking it, there's a certain level of certainty in Nigeria. Okay, bad as bad, I no get rent, no worry, I'll go squat with my friend, I'll just go squat there when my life balance small, I'll go, I'll go my pa house, go the chop free food. Here, if you squat with someone, their bills naturally increase, which means as you are there, you have to contribute to bills too. So what's the next reason? Next reason, guys, mind you, You're coming to the UK on a student visa, and after your student visa, you have 2 years on your post work visa. Mind you, next year they most likely will change that rule, because at this point these guys are considering 18 months, slashing 2 years to 18 months. Okay, is it 18 months here? 1 year and 6 months. They're planning to slash post-study work visa to 18 months. Have you asked yourself, after my student visa and I'm paying, and I keep paying this loan, and then I move to post-study work visa, what if I don't get COS? Mind you, the only thing that can keep you here is maybe you get married to a British person, you get COS, you move from post-study to maybe global talent visa that is like 5 years, you get a better maybe founders visa, you know, basically another visa that is longer. But what if you don't get these visas? Because everybody now has their eyes on COS. What if you do not get COS after your 2 years post-study and you are still repaying this loan? What will you do? Answer. Just help me answer in the comment section. You are still repaying this loan. You get loan to pay. Imagine taking a loan to come abroad, and now you have a few days left to leave the abroad. You still never paid you're going back to Nigeria to meet the person that lent you the money, to do what? To explain, to shalaye to him that your visa has expired and you cannot pay, or when I come to, how is that going to happen? Consider the fact that technically or hypothetically your stay in the, especially UK, I'm just talking about UK, I don't know about other countries anyways, because most likely that's where most people come to these days. Your stay here is short-lived technically, so your stay after post-study is dependent on whether you get a global talent visa, whether you get a founder, whether you marry a British person, whether you get a COS. That's what your stay depends on. You get. So what if none of these things happen? What is going to happen to your loan? Mind you, 2 years is a very short time. So if somebody says, oh, take a loan and you can pay after school, 2 years is a very short time. Because inside that 2 years, that takes me to my next point. Inside that 2 years, you're also saving for your next visa. So if you are planning to get like a what's it called, COS, as you're doing your post-study, you're already saving money for COS. As you're in student visa, you're already saving money for post-study. You can't enter the post-study, you're still saving. So there is always a cycle where you always get to need money. Okay, so how is that supposed to work? You go back home and explain ashalaye, or you do what? You overstay your visa and risk deportation. Because, okay, let me go to the next point. I'm not capturing the whole point. Anyways, another point is the fact that you are under so much pressure. Let me tell you what pressure makes you do. Pressure makes you start to take extra shift unnecessarily. You see somebody coming back from a 12-hour shift and they're already making calls on whether they can get 5 hours shift somewhere else or 6 hours. The pressure, the mental pressure, the physical pressure, it starts to tell on your mental health, because of course there's nothing else you're thinking other than making money and paying the loan. You're under so much pressure to the fact that when your visa is, some people even want to seek asylum. Some people want to seek asylum because, number one, they don't even have money to renew their visas. They are working, not like they are working, packing shit. They don't have money to renew their, they want to, at this point, they know that they cannot come back. What are you coming back for? They now want to go and seek asylum. In that the asylum, they'll not still hustle and still find way to start still want to repay that loan. Unnecessary, your mental health, and you know, sometimes when your mental health is affected, your physical health, it also takes a toll on your physical health, because you're always working. The pressure is too much. See, it's better to owe only school, and you know that you're owing only school, you juggle only school. You know the arrangement where we do, where, oh, you pay part of the payment and you pay part of the fees when you come in. Also, that is a better arrangement. If you don't have enough money to pay half of your deposit or whatever, half of your fees and half of everything, and then when you come, you also the remaining, just stay back. That is a better. You see, that arrangement is even difficult. It's even harder for students to survive on that arrangement. Not talk of somebody that took a loan of the entire, like, not a single dime of the money is your own. You took a loan of everything. My people, abort mission. Abort what? Mission. Another reason to consider is the fact that the cost of living in the UK keeps increasing. So you know how, like, even though it's not as bad as the way it is in Nigeria, for instance, you might be paying rent £400 today. By next year, it might move to like £600. So if you have planned your life that, oh, I earn £2,000 every month, for instance, out of that £2,000, I will give the person that lent me money £1,000 every month, or £500 every month, and then I'll use this for rent. Consider the fact that the bills, you like your rent bills, transport bills. Like when I came to the UK newly, a bus pass was like £2. And in fact, before I came, I think my brother told me that before then it was like 1 point something. So it moved from that 1 point something to £2. When I met it at £2, and as it stands now in Leeds, a bus pass, a single bus pass is 2.5 pounds. Next year it might go to 3 pounds. So your expenses naturally, due to inflation, you might be spending 100 pounds on groceries monthly, but by next year it might increase to like 150. So the amount you usually send, let's say you have agreed in your heart that you send 500 pounds, because of the increased cost of living that keeps going up every single day, you cannot even keep up with that 500 pounds. So consider the fact that you may have planned your life. This is my expenses every month. It might go up next year, it might go up next month, and because of that, you will now reduce the amount you send to your lender. I don't know who the person will borrow you money. I don't know the English. Okay, trust me, this gamble is not worth it. This is a gamble. This gamble of taking a loan and come, it is not. See, the advantage is like one advantage and 99 other disadvantages. And if you have 99 disadvantages, you should know that no put head there. In the bogasi, equally see that side, because I got pokubishi. They'll cut your neck. Basically, it's not right. Okay, so but so what are some conditions for you to want to consider taking a loan? I'm not saying yes, so I've said loans are bad. In fact, they are bad. Not because I've said they are bad, but is there a condition for you to even consider it in the first place? Just a little low, not totally, but are there possible reasons why, okay, they are not that bad, let me consider? Yes, of course there are. Number one is that if you're coming here on a COS, maybe you got a COS from Nigeria, you're coming here to work full-time, you're coming and you're starting to work full-time, then maybe you can consider it. Maybe you can consider it, because I mean, you don't have any limitations to working 20 hours. You can work, you're working 40 hours or more, so you could just say, okay, for the next 1 year or for the next 2 years, I will use my salary to pay, which is, like I said, it's not totally best, but at least there's no limitations to your work time. You have full time, your work. Maybe you can consider it. Another reason you should consider it is the fact that, okay, maybe you have like 80% of the money, and then you're taking a loan of 20%. Is fair, it is reasonable. At least it's more like the arrangement we do, where you come here, you pay half of your school fees, you come here, you also do it. So it's more reasonable. You already have 80% of the money, or maybe like 70%. You have basically you have the bulk of the money, then that's understandable. But taking everything 100% or even 80% loan, no, it doesn't cut it. Another reason is the fact that, okay, maybe the interest is little or no interest. So like I said, sometimes it's not the loan itself, sometimes it's the interest rate. So if you have someone giving you a loan for little to no interest at all, maybe you should consider. But even in the consideration, make sure you have like 80% of the money. What you're taking as a loan is like 20%. Okay, so little or no interest. But you see high interest rate, run, fly, jump, anyhow you want to do to escape it. Now you know that when you're indebted to someone, you cannot make any decision. If you're a man, if you owe someone, you are repaying a loan, you can't get married. Even as a woman, if you're a woman, you owe someone a huge amount, you still cannot get married, because being married or taking big life decisions, you cannot. I'm just saying married. What am I saying married? You can't get married, you can't maybe move, you can't travel out. As you're in the UK now, your mates are going on vacations, you cannot do that. You can't even buy, let's say your laptop is bad, you need to upgrade your laptop. Like when I want to upgrade my laptop to MacBook. God, my destiny helper, please may you hear this part. No skipper. The way my laptop is it's just not meeting my expectation like when I got it, and I need to upgrade to like a MacBook. I don't use that, I talk my problem. But basically, if you are in debt, no matter how bad your old laptop is, you will use them like that. You cannot get a new one. If you're in debt, you cannot just wake up one morning and say, let me go and get a new dress. You cannot make you cannot make life decisions when you owe some. Some people get married there, but anyway, the repercussions, if somebody is going to borrow you money, they're going to write a strict law and agreement, you get. So your life is in bondage. Like somebody holds your life. The person who lent you that money holds your life, because you cannot make any decision. So imagine you being at one spot in your life, working all for two years, you're just working because what you want to come to the UK. No, it's not worth it. Stay in Nigeria. I understand Nigeria may be bad, though. We don't badmouth Nigeria, say, oh, Nigeria is this. Like, see, trust me, it cannot be that bad for you to take a loan to come on here. Student visa, as in student visa. If your papa get land, better to sell. It's better to say, oh, I sold my land, I sold my father's land, I sold my father's property, and I came here. I don't know. That one is better. At least it's your father's own or is your own. But to outsource it, you go suffer. It's not me. I don't want to. I'm not God, so I can't lay a curse on you. But your eyes are going to see your ears. It's not. Don't try it, okay? So this is what I say. Let me just let you guys know, okay? So if you're considering, please abort mission. I'm saying this from a place of even me that hustle to pay our school fees. You know how it is, okay? Ask your friends that are working to pay just half of their fees, half of it. Oh, ask them how far. Let's talk of millions of naira. Nibo si onye mara asu so n'ikwe, onye na mara asu so n'ukwu ya. In other words, if you know how to pound on the mortar. If you don't know how to pound on your leg. Now Igbo people talk and no be me, okay? So just be patient. My father will always say, for that's a dead person will be tired of sleeping. Be patient. When it's your time, you go come this UK, you go even tired, say, so okay, this is the UK, now him be this, now the UK be this. Ask where shit to come. When you come, the excitement will still leave your eyes. Say, okay, so now the UK be this, you get. So calm down. You go die one day and you go tired to sleep. You go come one day, you go come this UK one day, you go tired, you go see the UK finish, okay? So that's what I say. Let me tell you, this video is even getting too long, but if I'm not talking, my mind go, you know, it go the prick me. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Please like this video, please subscribe and leave a comment. Of course, you all know I'm trying to hit my target of 50,000 subscribers by the end of next year, and you all can help me achieve that if you give this video a thumbs up, if you like, if you subscribe, and of course you leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching this video. If there's any topic you feel like, oh, I should talk about, tell me and I'm gonna come here and talk about it, okay? Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Toodles.